HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, everything can change fast. That's when the attorneys at Sweet James step in. They help you understand your rights, connect you with medical care, and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to. You don't pay anything unless your case is resolved successfully, and help is available 24 hours a day. If you've been injured, call Sweet James for a free case review. Hablamos Español. 800-9000000. 800-900-0000. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tech Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
Your dental health affects your whole body's wellness. Got a broken tooth or need a crown? At Arizona Crown Center, you can expect care focused on crowns and bridges for just $6.99 per tooth, including your x-ray. That's less than half the usual cost. With Arizona Crown Center, expect top quality, efficient treatment backed by a 3-year unconditional guarantee, and even same-day service. They keep it simple and affordable, so you can enjoy the foods you love without worry. Plus, their friendly team makes every visit comfortable and easy. Whether it's your first crown or replacing an old one, they personalize your care to fit you. That's something to really smile about. Don't live with discomfort. Visit azcrowncenter.com for your free consultation today. Serving the Valley for over 20 years with offices in Chandler, Surprise, and Prescott. Get premium dental crowns and bridges at a price that fits your budget. azcrowncenter.com. That's azcrowncenter.com. Your smile's best friend.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. However, if left untreated, could lead to costly repairs. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage door is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repair. From simple repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Our springs, rollers, and openers are tested by running them up and down, open and closed, all day, 24/7, so you can feel confident with every A1 garage door repair. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1Garage.com, A1 from day one.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
It is the lunch break right here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out on the other side of the glass. We appreciate you hanging out with us here today on the show. We're going to break down the Suns back in action last night, picking up a win. A lot in Cardinals land yesterday because it was made official. And yes, we've got a dueling draft here on a Wednesday as well. Producer Evan, how are you, my friend? Doing well? Busy day for you today. You've got the lunch break. And then you will be pushing the buttons tonight as ASU women's basketball starts their Big 12 conference tournament run. They'll take on the U of A at 4 o'clock pregame start. So busy day for you here.
Yeah, long afternoon for me. You're excited to be here.
You're getting comfortable.
I mean, listen, I'm going to be in this chair for a lot today. Just getting comfy.
Well, you needed to get comfy last night because it was a late start. It did not start at 9 o'clock. It was a little after 9 o'clock. When the Suns got underway. And while it maybe wasn't exactly what we wanted to see, yes, it was another win for the Phoenix Suns.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
We start where we always start. after a Suns W. I got to tell you, yesterday on the program, I said I wanted to put the red W up there right away before we got done yesterday. I didn't do it. First quarter played out, I was a little nervous. I got a little worried that I spoke a little too soon, but the Suns picked up a win. They've now started a little mini winning streak here, 2 games in a row. First time they've won back-to-back games since the 29th and 30th of January. That was the back part of a 3-game winning streak where they beat Brooklyn, Detroit, and Cleveland all at home. That's the last time that the Phoenix Suns have won, 3 games, 2 games in a row. They picked up the win last night. Yeah, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't exactly what we wanted it to look like, but we get to add a W to start the month of March. It is 2 wins in a row. And the big story going into the game last night was the return of Devin Booker. His reemergence into the starting lineup. What would this look like? Reinforcements coming at exactly the right time. And I will say, for Book, it was a clunky kind of start. It felt like very much in the first quarter trying to knock off the rust, trying to get back into the flow. Jalen Green, not a guy that he's played a ton of basketball with, so figuring out where they're going to be. The starting lineup last night, they had Gillespie and Green and Booker all together on the floor, so a lot of guards that you have to figure out where they're going to play and how that was all going to work out. It settled in. And after that first quarter, the Suns did what they do best. They adjusted in game, and they came out in the second half really strong. And they kind of put themselves in the place we were worried about yesterday. We said, hey, get to the fourth quarter, 20, 22, 24 points, right? 20 plus, where you can throw it onto cruise control and you can get these starters out of the game. They had it right in that window where one run forces you to leave the starters into a game, right? That, anywhere from 13 to 18 is where you start to get worried about one good Kings run forcing you to have to nurse a game to the finish. And I don't want to say that they needed to fully nurse the game to the finish, but Jordan Ott did need to turn to his bench after a strong Kings run in the fourth quarter, and he needed to go back to his starters to close this out so that the Suns picked up the victory. But Devin Booker back last night. The Suns pick up a win. They take care of business, a mini little road trip up to Sacramento. They now get to come back home. They all face Chicago tomorrow night, New Orleans on Friday, Charlotte over the weekend, and they will look to keep this momentum rolling. Again, it was not the prettiest game you're going to see the Suns play all season. That first quarter, just mistakes, miscues. They were sloppy. They back-to-back possessions, Mark Williams and Jalen Green turned the ball over. It was a weird night for Jalen Green as well. Just felt like they needed to put the pieces of the team together, and once they did that, it looked more like what the Phoenix Suns should look like when they have Devin Booker in the lineup. Although, to go to the buy or sell that producer Evan gave me yesterday, Devin Booker had to play more than 2 minutes in the fourth quarter, and so if we're going to nitpick a little bit, that would be the place that we would nitpick.
Yeah, I think we were all kind of a little excited to see a game where you could put them away early. And it felt like you had kind of opportunities. Obviously, it wasn't it's kind of a weird night. I don't really know how to describe it. It was kind of a weird night because you and I talked about it in the morning meeting. Like, Jalen Green on paper last night was really good.
Right, so I can give you the box score. You want the box score numbers
here? On paper was really good last night.
Led the team in scoring with 20 points.
I thought he played a below-average game for Jalen Green. I thought he turned the ball over.
The 7 turnovers were a problem.
I thought he was pretty bad. And so it was kind of a weird night. And you had a couple of weird plays with Mark Williams in there. It was just, there were strange plays all over the place. And then you get into the end of the third quarter and into the fourth quarter. And I think it's the start of the fourth quarter. Rasheer Fleming gets those 2 kick-out threes, and you knock both of them down. You're up 17, and you feel like you have right there the chance to put them away. And then you kind of let them crawl back into it, and 5 minutes left in the game, you're checking everybody back in.
Yeah, I don't know which of that I should start with, right? Do I focus on, Jalen Green leading the team in scoring, but having the 7 turnovers, including 4 in the fourth quarter? He had the 2 early in the game, too, that allowed the Kings to kind of – and when you're playing a team like Sacramento that's not playing for a whole lot, you got to take them And now that you're on the road, you got to take the crowd out of the game early. And the Suns did the complete opposite. They gave the Kings hope. They gave the Kings the thought that they could hang around in this game because the Suns were sloppy in that first quarter. They had 5 turnovers in the first quarter. Jalen Green had 2, Booker had 1, Mark Williams had 1, Oso Ighodaro had 1. You were just sloppy with the basketball in the first quarter. That allowed the Kings to jump out to that 30-22 lead. And I will say, my daughter, finishing up with softball practice, listened to the first quarter of the game on the radio, and first game back for Devin Booker, didn't hear his name called a whole lot in the first quarter. So the sloppy play with the turnovers, Booker kind of trying to get back into a flow of things, it was a little clunky. They settled, and the second and the third quarter and the start of the fourth quarter looked more like Phoenix Suns basketball. But when you're playing a bad team like Sacramento, you let them stay in it and have that belief that they could hang with you by the way you played in the first quarter. And Jalen Green, again, led the team in scoring when you look at it at the end of the day. But I would call it an up and down, a roller coaster night for him because the 7 turnovers were a problem. I just think this is a case of him trying to fit in, trying to find his role on this team. And he's in the lineup. He's out of the lineup. He's playing with Devin Booker. He's not playing with Devin Booker. There just isn't enough chemistry, I think, with Jalen Green and his teammates for him to feel 100% comfortable and at home. And these are the growing pains of that process. The idea was those were going to happen at the beginning part of the season. Unfortunately, because he's been in and out of the lineup, we're doing it at a time where you're looking at the schedule and you're looking at your watch and you're going, they don't have time to afford these types of nights if it leads to losses. Fortunately for the Suns last night, they're playing a bad Kings team. They were able to take advantage and they were able to win the basketball game. But going forward, Jalen Green can't commit 7 turnovers.
Yeah, and I just felt like from kind of all over the place, they just couldn't get really Devin Booker involved in the game as much as you would see normally. Now, I get it. First game back, playing the Kings. You don't want to put that kind of pressure on him. But he played 31 minutes last night. Like, it's not like they lessened his workload. Like, he played 31 minutes of the game last night, and he was 6 for 19 from the field. That's including he shot 4 for 9 from 3. So from inside the arc, he was, 2 for 10?
The only person who played more minutes than him was Colin Gillespie, who had another good night, by the way.
Who played by 30 seconds?
Yeah, it was 31-29. It wasn't close. But the 3 guys that were in the 30s were Green, Booker, and Gillespie. And again, I mentioned it a little bit ago, a little bit of a more unique look from Jordan Ott last night. He played the 3 guards together. He played Gillespie, Booker, and Green together.
He did.
He went a little smaller. I mean, you got Mark Williams in the center, but you got Royce O'Neal and then the 3 guards. He went a little bit on the smaller side to open the game.
Did you see? I think it started fourth quarter, end of the third, that era. Colin Gillespie pulled up from deep last night on one of the possessions.
Well, he had the heat check early in the game because he scored the first 6 points for the Suns.
And
then it was a heat check territory, which is fine. You're hot.
Then he did it again.
Yeah. I mean, listen, and he's been really good. And listen, when you have a heat check, you have a heat check. And he scored 17, 3rd most points on the team. Suns had 6 guys in double figures last night. So they're really spreading the ball, spreading the rock, and getting a ton of guys involved, Colin Gillespie being one of them. And again, I don't want to nitpick too much. They won the basketball game. It's their first winning streak since the end of January. These are all good things. The schedule opens up here in the beginning of March. They're already taking advantage of it. It's everything results-wise we wanted to see last night. But as we get into this stretch in March where they're on the road and they're away from home and they have some tough opponents in there. Boston's coming up. Minnesota's coming up. San Antonio's coming up. You want them to, when that stretch appears, you want them to playing their best basketball. You want them looking like the team that we know they can be. And we'll talk a little bit later on in the program about how they've done really good against teams like the Sacramento Kings, but how it's those other games that I think is going to determine how this season finishes for the Phoenix Suns. I don't want to finish the Daily Special without talking about Rasheer Fleming, who just continues to find a role on this team, was a part of the first group of subs in the game last night. As producer Evan mentioned, had that little stretch where he hit back-to-back shots for the team, big 3-pointers. The length that he provides, he's a 3-and-D guy.
He's a complete 3-and-D role player, yeah.
And he is thriving in that role, and it feels like the Suns are getting comfortable, and by that I mean the coaching staff is getting comfortable, just putting a little more on his plate every single night. He played 15 minutes, which is on the shorter end for him as of late. I mean, he's been in the 20s pretty regularly. He played more than 20 minutes in that game against the Lakers, where, again, his length, his hands, he's blocking passing lanes, he's tipping balls away. He's just doing what you expect somebody of his size to do, and he's earned, I think, the trust of the coaching staff. And they had Haywood Highsmith back last night. He was available. He didn't play at all. I think that is in large part due to, hey, let's take it easy with this guy, but also Rasheer Fleming is carving out a role for himself, and the Suns appear pretty comfortable giving him more and more responsibility.
And I think you watch Rasheer Fleming and you just immediately can see his role on the team, right? Like, it's not hard 15 minutes that he got last night to see, like, okay, he can play for this team, and there's going to be spots where they're going to really like him. And so to have a guy that you can say is your true 3-and-D guy, and I think you brought it up, his length, they don't have a guy like Fleming really else on the roster.
No, you look at the other guys who I would put into the 3-and-D bucket. You look at Royce O'Neal as somebody who kind of fits that bill to a certain extent. Grayson Allen kind of falls into that role. But Grayson Allen, I would not classify as your traditional 3-and-D guy.
No, not at all.
Because I don't know how great he is on the defensive side, and he's also somebody who we've seen at times this year can take over a game by driving to the basket. So it's not a one-to-one fit, where Rasheer Fleming to me is the one-to-one fit of you're out there to shoot threes and play good defense. That's what your role is. If we need to attack the basket, Devin Booker can do that. Jalen Green can do that. We'll get the ball to Mark Williams. We don't need you to do that. And he is thriving in that role. And this is a good sign. I know everybody wants to focus on Kamal Malawach and how little he's played this season. And it is something to pay attention to, and it is something to maybe worry about just a little bit. But this is a win for the Suns player development department, that this late in the season, they have a young player that they traded up to start round 2 to get. Late in the season, when these games matter the most, is finding a role and is thriving in that role. That is a win for the coaching staff. It's a win for the GM. It's a win for the player development. It's a win for the G League coaches who are coaching, Rasheer Fleming when he's down there, because they're moving these guys back and forth. It's a win for the entire organization that this late in the season, you can have somebody like a Rasheer Fleming that is contributing in this way when they don't have Dillon Brooks to provide that defense.
And I think it's a huge notch on the belt of Brian Gregory.
Yeah,
like this is one of the guys where it was like, we're gonna go make the move, and you went up, you got Rasheer Fleming, and the only knock on Brian Gregory really to this point has been, come on, Malawach and all the guys they drafted, you're not getting any contribution.
Now you are.
Listen, it's not Malawach, I get it, but Rasheer Fleming is giving them a contribution.
And they're going to have more wins like this because of their limited draft capital over the next couple of years in order to turn this around quicker than people think. And
if you find
this is a win,
a second-round role player,
right?
That's what you're looking for. Do I think they're going to find studs? Maybe in the second round. But if you can find a guy like Rasheer Fleming who's going to add to this team, you're winning in the second round of an NBA draft.
Yeah,
you just are.
And they need to find more wins like that to help dig themselves out of the mess that they are in. 480-864-1060. That's the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also chat with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, the Kyler Murray era is officially over. We'll talk about it next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
ASU Baseball to complement your Sunday right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Sun Devils as they look to square off against LMU and finish the weekend strong. Head coach Ray Bloomquist knows how to lead his team to another win at home in 2026. Listen in live as ASU looks to defeat Loyola Marymount University. Pre-game coverage begins Sunday afternoon at 12:45 p.m. and first pitch at 1:05 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS app.
This is Michael with Restore My Civil Rights. Tax season is here, and for many people, that refund check is an opportunity. If a past conviction is holding you back from constitutional rights, your tax return can be an investment in your future. Instead of spending your refund on something temporary, use it to remove legal barriers from your record and restore your standing as the law-abiding citizen you've worked hard to become. To book a free consultation, call 855-GUN-RIGHTS or visit RestoreMyCivilRights.com today. That's RestoreMyCivilRights.com.
For over 50 years, they redefined rock. The spirit lives on.
Monday, warrior, mean strike. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride.
Kenny Lee and Alex Lifeson celebrate 50 years of Rush 50-something tour. December 1st and 3rd, 2026, Desert Diamond Arena. Tickets are on sale now at rush.com. Legends don't stop. They evolve. Rush.
Try the Chicken Melt Trio at Port of Subs. Protein packed with bold sauces and built to crush cravings. Order now at portofsubs.com.
Sliced fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
You may think you know drag racing, the chills, the speed, and iconic moments, but this season, it hits different. 75 years in the making. The crowd's locked in, waiting for that moment. The moment of realizing you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Whether you're a longtime fan or feeling earth-shaking horsepower for the first time, you're part of the story now. Expect the unexpected March 20th through 22nd when NHRA roars into Phoenix. Get tickets at NHRA.com today.
Meineke always treats your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke's certified technicians will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care. Schedule an appointment at Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
Jim, I'm here with your Rome Report. Typically, I'm of the opinion that you do not trade Hall of Famers, especially if they've got something left in the tank and, despite playing for a horrible team, actually want to be there. Obviously, I'm talking about Raiders star Max Crosby. Truth is, the Raiders really do not deserve this guy, and he always deserved better than them. And at this point, not trading Max could get two of their most valuable assets killed. Max himself, as he's already taken a beating there, and there's soon to be number one pick overall, Fernando Mendoza, who will not survive behind that offensive line. So you want to save both players' lives? Trade Max. You're not winning with him, and he probably no longer wants to be there after you shut him down at the end of last season. And I don't want to see this guy waste a Hall of Fame career on a team that never gave him a chance to win anything significant in the first place. So do the right thing. Free Max Crosby. I'm Jim Rome. And remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Shoot your shot on Prize Picks and get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks makes every dunk, every dime, and every board that much more exciting. So don't miss this chance to get started on America's #1 app for sports picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code ROME. Get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code ROME on Prize Picks to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. It's going to be right. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RTO Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RTO Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
So it's official, or I guess as official as it can be today. The Arizona Cardinals yesterday, I guess through media sources, it was reported through media sources, plan on releasing Kyler Murray when they're able to on the first day of the new league year. And this was kind of preempted by a statement from Kyler Murray confirming what is going to happen next week. If you haven't seen Kyler's statement that he put out yesterday, and by the way, file this story in the long list of things that happen after we get off the air. I know we talked about that last week. We can add this to the top of the list. This was Kyler Murray's statement yesterday on social media. Quote, "To everyone that supported me and showed kindness to my family and I during my time in AZ, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I wanted nothing more than to be the one to end the 77-year drought for this organization. I am sorry I failed us. I wish this community and my brothers nothing but the best.
I am no stranger to adversity. I am prepared for whatever's next. I trust in God and my work ethic. I truly believe my best ball is in front of me, and I look forward to proving it. Godspeed, end quote. Yesterday was expected. There wasn't a feeling of shock when Kyler Murray put out this statement, when Adam Schefter and all of the other insiders in the sport reported that this is what the plan is for the Arizona Cardinals. Nothing about yesterday shocked us. Nothing was surprising. But yesterday was important because yesterday felt very much like, at least for me, the day that the Phoenix Suns traded Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets. We all knew that day was coming. We all knew it was going to be to Houston. We knew that Kevin Durant's time and tenure in Phoenix with the Suns was over. But despite knowing all of that, we couldn't really move on to what was next, what the next version of the Suns were going to be, what roster moves we could debate. We couldn't do any of that or really feel 100% invested in any of that until Kevin Durant was traded. And I think the same applies here when talking about Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. We couldn't all move on to Malik Willis, Jimmy Garoppolo, Ty Simpson, whatever the plan's going to be at quarterback. We couldn't move on until we got yesterday. Until we saw the official word that this is what they were going to do, and Kyler puts out the statement, and it makes it about as official as it can be right now. That's what made it real. That's what brought us to the next chapter. That's what lets us turn the page. But just before we turn the page, I've got my finger on the page, and I'm ready to turn it. Just a couple of things I want to talk about today about Kyler Murray and the past. Then we're going to move on to the future. There's a pretty important day coming up on Monday. There could be a new quarterback there could technically be a new quarterback on this roster, I guess unofficially, officially, while Kyler Murray is still technically a member of the Cardinals. If they agree to a deal or plan on agreeing to a deal with Malik Willis on Monday, because they can't cut Kyler and take on the, $47 million in a cap hit this year. They can't do that until the first day of the new league year. Just before we turn the page and go towards the future, because it's right in front of us, it's just a couple of days away, I want to reflect a little bit on the Kyler Murray era. And I've seen a lot of people do this on social media. I've seen a lot of people do this in other spaces, similar forms to the one that we have here. And I've seen all of the buzzwords, the disappointment, the failing expectations, what could have been. I've seen it all. And I think there are two conflicting images when I talk about the Kyler Murray era that come to mind. The one image, I'm sure many of you remember the play, is the crazy two-point conversion that he had against the Raiders, where he's just running around and somehow keeps the play alive and is able to convert. Because that play embodies everything you thought Kyler Murray could be as a quarterback. That was all of the potential wrapped up on the football field presented to you to show it can be done. And then the other thought, the other image that pops into my head is Kyler Murray on the bench at the end of the playoff game against the Rams. Those are the two images that I've been thinking a lot about since this news broke in the afternoon yesterday. Because for all the good, for all of those times like the crazy play against the Raiders, I couldn't shake the way he played in that playoff game against the Rams. And that, to me, embodies Kyler Murray's era here in Phoenix. That you had all of the great dazzling plays, all of the greatness. You saw it on the football field. It's not a case of the potential that could have been. This isn't an Anthony Richardson situation, right? Where you're waiting for the potential to pop. You saw it. It produced itself on the football field. Kyler Murray did things that nobody else in the sport can do. He lived up in certain plays to being the number one overall pick with the creativity, the specialness, the magicalness of how he could play the position. But that is juxtaposed by that playoff loss against the Rams and what ensued from it. And those are the images that I have in my head. And that's what I can't get over as we close this chapter.
It will always be haunted. And like for me, the one play that comes to mind is the play in the playoff game, the pick six. Like, I can't get it out of my mind today. I can't. I've watched it in my head 5 or 6 times because this is the end of that era. And this is like, for all the good that was the 10-0 start that year, for all the good was the year before when you beat Seattle, who was undefeated at the time, and you felt like the Cardinals were going to be that next team. Those years are gone, and they feel so long gone.
Yeah, because you never got close.
And
after that.
I never. It just never felt like it was going to fall off the truck like that, and it just did. It just did, and it never got better. And now you're in a position where here you are again in the quarterback search. And when they took Kyler number 1 overall, the excitement that brought, and you said it best, like just the physical attributes that Kyler Murray brought to this team, it was so exciting. And then you added DeAndre Hopkins, and you were like, okay, here we go. Here we go.
And despite being undersized for the position at 5'10", he could do things that nobody else in the position. And I still think he can do things at the position that nobody else can do. But it just never materialized after that postseason loss. And the contract extension, the study provision that got in there and got leaked out to the media, that to me was the end of the road.
Was the beginning of the end.
We never recovered from that moment. Maybe there were blips. Maybe there were pockets where you thought things were going to turn the corner. We never recovered from that moment and that media cycle. It was never the same between the team and the player, between the fan base and the player. It never was the same after that got leaked. And we're never going to know the true story about how all of that happened and the behind the scenes of it all. But that to me was the moment where it actually ended. Now, it took a number of years from that point for us to get here, but that was the end of the road.
But
they
felt
never
like,
recovered from that.
Yeah, and being a quarterback in the room, like, how do you not feel like this organization, this fan base, doesn't have full faith in you? Like, to get questions as a 5'10" quarterback that, are you really practicing? How much do you work on your game? Like, the internal aggravation there, from not only from the media perspective to the fans to the organization, most importantly.
It put a dark cloud over the organization that never actually moved away.
That was the first split of the relationship, and it just continued to crack.
Because it was always there, right? They removed the clause from the contract, but you always thought, is he studying? Is he preparing? Once that was out, you couldn't put the toothpaste back in the tube. And that, to me, was really where it ends. But those are the things I think about today. And that is why we are here in this moment. Because for all the good, for all the dazzling highlight reel, if they were still doing it and it was still a pop culture phenomenon, the SportsCenter top plays that Kyler Murray has, for all of it, those come second to the contract extension, the clause, the playoff loss, the leadership questions. All of it is in the background, and that's why we are here today talking about the official, unofficial end of the Kyler Murray era. And now it's about what's next. And by the way, this isn't all on Kyler. This failed over the last 7 years because of 2 GMs that couldn't put rosters around him, 2 coaches that couldn't figure it out. Offensive lines were not built correctly. Supporting casts weren't built correctly. Defenses weren't built correctly. Injuries happen. It is not all Kyler Murray. Everybody's got blame in all of this. But now that the page gets flipped, the chapter is now starting anew. We can focus on who's going to be in here next. Who's going to be the next quarterback? Is it going to be Malik Willis? Is it going to be Jimmy Garoppolo? Is it going to be Ty Simpson? Is it going to be somebody other than those 3 names? Is it going to be Jacoby Brissett that's playing quarterback for this team next season? Either way, there will be a new quarterback playing next season for the Arizona Cardinals, and now a new chapter can actually begin. And I know there are some of you out there that are excited by that have been waiting for this day. Think it is well past time for this day to come. Well, the day is finally here. Now it is up to Cardinals. Now it is up to the Cardinals and this new GM who didn't select Kyler,
didn't extend Kyler to chart a path to where we are not having this conversation again in 7 years. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also hang out with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, the Phoenix Suns continued a very important trend last night. I'll tell you what it is next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
I'm not here to bury Mike Tomlin, but the fact is, this absolutely is the right move. He did the right thing, and he fired himself. All good things come to an end. Going a decade without winning a single playoff game is not meeting the standard.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
I get by with a little help from my friends.
Ringo Starr and his all-star band. With friends, Steve Lukather from Toto. From Men at Work, Colin Hay. From Average White Band, Hamish Stewart. Friday, June 12th, 7:30 p.m., Gamage Auditorium. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Produced by Danny Zalesko Presents.
Low T, start for free for a limited time. Get prescription testosterone therapy with no startup fee, only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. Prescription testosterone gives you more energy, stamina, and it'll help you lose weight and lose that dad bod for good. You'll also think better, sleep better, and your love life will be better. Look, don't be fooled. Nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. So skip the gimmicks and get prescription strength testosterone now at Red Mountain Weight Loss. It's a game changer. So don't wait. If you've got low T, get started for free. Meet with a board-certified medical provider online with no waiting from the convenience of your home or office. Book today and feel like yourself again. Only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Go to redmountainweightloss.com or dial pound 250 on your phone. Keyword Red Mountain. Red Mountain Weight Loss. Real testosterone. Real doctors. Real results.
Monument Valley? Check. Grand Canyon? Check. Sedona? Check. Camelback? Check. Think you've seen it all in Arizona? Well, if you haven't been fishing, you haven't seen a thing. From ponds and reservoirs to rivers and lakes, our state has no shortage of ways to cast a line for beginners and pros. And a fishing license is your passport to all of them. Get your license at azgfd.gov and discover a whole new way to see Arizona.
Santana, Oneness Tour 2026. The power, the energy. Come celebrate your favorite hits from Woodstock to Supernatural and beyond. With very special guest, the Doobie Brothers. Friday, August 14th, Mortgage Matchup Center. On sale now at livenation.com. Santana and Doobie Brothers, Oneness Tour 2026.
Some flavors just take you to another place. Like the Filet-O-Fish, a crispy fish fillet made with wild-caught Alaskan pollock on melty American cheese topped with tartar sauce, all on a soft steamed bun. It's crispy, flaky perfection. And right now, I can mix and match two favorites, like a Filet-O-Fish or 10-piece chicken McNuggets for just $6. This deal is the catch of the day. So get to McDonald's fast. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
When your average fan goes to an NBA game, it doesn't matter if it's game 1 or game 82. Everyone healthy should be on the court giving 110% max effort. We've seen what a player like Victor Wembanyama could do to a franchise. All the greatest of the greats, when they hit the franchise, their team becomes an instant playoff team. I hate when players that are healthy are not playing in a regular season game.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Getting back into the Suns and their win last night in Sacramento. A little winning streak for the Phoenix Suns, their first one since the end of January. And they also did something that is becoming somewhat of a calling card for them. I saw John Voida of Bright Side of the Sun point this out in his recap late last night, early this morning. about the Phoenix Suns have become, I'll use his phrase, elite at taking care of business against really bad teams. And he provided a stat that I'm now going to share with all of you. So credit to him for pointing this out to have the numbers, because we're actually going to take these numbers. And I bear with us because we've done the math ahead of time, so we don't need to break out the trusted lunch break calculator. We're prepared today. But I want to take this stat and extrapolate it through the rest of the season. With the win last night against Sacramento, the Phoenix Suns now have put themselves 20-5 this season against teams that are below 500. An 800 winning percentage against teams that are below 500. Sacramento below 500 last night. Just to let you know, Chicago next up on the schedule, New Orleans next up after that, both below 500. The Phoenix Suns have owned this marketplace. They've been excellent at it. 20-5 against teams that are below 500, taking care of business against the teams that you're supposed to. Maybe before the year you thought this is where you'd kind of be having a little battle royale, and sometimes you'd win, sometimes you lose. But as we've seen the season evolve for the Suns, we know they're a better team than Sacramento. We know they're a better team than Chicago, a better team than New Orleans, a better team than Portland. They are much better than all of these teams. It should be expected that they win, and they've done it. They've backed it up. 20-5. They are avoiding the trap game mentality that sometimes plagues teams. And the Phoenix Suns are not good enough on paper with talent to be giving away games like this. Because I don't know how great they really are against the best of the best, right? They're 20-5. We can do some math about how they are against the rest of the NBA. They are making a lot of their ground that they've made up this season from where people thought they were at the beginning of the year to now is they have just shown they're in a higher tier than these bottom feeder teams in the NBA. And they're kind of battling it out in that middle class that we've talked about. And at times they have shown to be the top of that middle class. Other times, because of injuries, because of a bad stretch, they're towards the bottom. They've been really good at doing this, beating Sacramento, 20-5 against teams below 500. Now, I just told you why there should be more wins coming, because they've got a ton of teams coming up here. Their next two are against teams that are below 500 in Chicago and New Orleans. So it should be more of the same. There should be more wins getting added up. Let's do the math, Producer Evan, because we did it before the show. The Phoenix Suns so far have played 61 games this season. They sit at 35-26. By the way, they need one more win to match their win total from a year ago. One. By the end of this week, they could have passed their win total from last season. Just to put that out there for all of you, they are right there on the doorstep, ringing the doorbell. They have got 21 games left on the calendar. We did the math, 21 games to go. 9 of those 21 are against teams that are below 500. They have 12 games against teams that are above or at 500 because they've got 2 games against Charlotte, who right now, by the way, Charlotte playing out of their minds. 7-3 in their last 10. I think they've won 3 in a row. They've battled all the way back to 500. They're kind of in the mix there in that Eastern Conference play-in tournament.
They have a lot of young talent.
They are kind of peaking at the right time. And this is going to sound weird to say with where their season is at and where the Suns season is at, but they're peaking late in the season the way I thought this Suns season was going to go.
Yeah, they are. It's so interesting to say. They are what I kind of imagined the Suns to be. Right now, they're 31-31. They're 500. They could win 40 games, maybe 40-plus games. And they're getting really good play right now. They've like you said, they've won 5 in a row.
5,
right now.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
I
5 in a row.
them.
And so now they're really in a position to continue to move up in the Eastern Conference standings. Like they're 2.5 games back from the 6th seed. And I know you have to pass Miami and Orlando to get there, but you're 2.5 games back from playing not in the playoff.
Yeah, with the way that they're playing, they may be considered the favorite to take one of those spots. They've been really good. So they're in that mix of 12 as well. They're at 500. We decided that with the way that they're playing, they're more of a above 500 team than they are a below 500 team. So let's take the 20-5 that the Phoenix Suns have been so far this season, which is an 800 winning percentage. And let's apply that to the 9 games that they have remaining. That would say that the Suns are going to be 7-2. They actually, if you break it down, you take the 9 games and you times it by 80. They actually win 7.2 games. I rounded down. I shortchanged the Suns a little bit. 7-2 takes them from 35 wins currently to 42. We have long said on this show that we think around 49 wins is what you're going to need to be threatening to be the 6th seed, which means in those 12 games against teams that are at 500 or above 500, you've got to go 7-5. That's the stretch I'm paying attention to.
And in that grouping of teams that are above 500, we talked about it. You have Charlotte twice. You have Toronto, Boston, Minnesota, San Antonio. Those are tough. But you get also teams like the Lakers, who you've been really good against this year. I know they want to get back against Houston. You have Houston towards the end of April. Honestly, Oklahoma City, you catch them on April 12th, right? It's the last game of the regular season. What is Oklahoma City playing for at that point?
They could be playing for absolutely nothing.
They could be playing for nothing. So you have some of these games. You have the Lakers on the 10th. You have the Oklahoma on the 12th of April. So back-to-back, what are those teams going to be playing for?
And by the way, half of those 12 games are at home. Looking at it now, I didn't look at this part of it when we were doing the math this
you have
morning.
6 of those games at home.
Charlotte this Sunday at home. Later on in the month, you have Toronto at home on the 22nd, Denver at home on the 24th. You have Houston and Dallas on the 7th and the 8th home. 5 of the 12 games are at home. So you're also facing some of these teams at home.
And I don't know about you, but just knowing that I have 2 games against these teams, like Toronto, do you expect them to lose both?
I don't expect them to lose both, no.
With how they've done this year against teams when the second time they've played them.
Yeah.
Like I don't expect they could lose at Toronto, certainly. I don't expect them to come back and lose at home the next week.
Right. You don't expect them to lose to Charlotte twice.
I
mean, would you be floored if they won both games against Charlotte?
No.
So we have them in the 12 game bucket of above or at 500. That's 2 of the 7 that we think they could need right there.
So just thinking about it logically, I need to find 7 wins. If I think they split with Charlotte and I think they split with Toronto, that's 2 right there. I just got to find a few more.
You see Oklahoma City late in the season, a Houston team that you've been really good against, or a Houston team that you've been really looking to beat.
A Lakers team you've been really good against.
A Lakers team you've been really good against. I mean, I look at the end of March into April, and that's a really interesting stretch to see where they're going to be.
That at Orlando, at Charlotte, then at Chicago, but then you get Houston, Dallas, Lakers, Oklahoma City. It's going to be interesting. I think that 8-game stretch to end the year is going to determine whether they're in the play-in or not.
Yeah, starting on the 30th at Memphis and then finishing up on the 12th at Oklahoma City. I would agree with you that I think that 8-game stretch is going to be really, really important. But they've shown an ability to avoid the trap games. They take care of business against the teams that they're supposed to. So assuming they do exactly what they've been doing all season, that's going to get them to 42 wins. Can they find the other 7 that we think? And again, it's a rough math right now that we think it's going to take. Can they find the other 7? Looking at the schedule, I think there's opportunity. 7-5, barely above 500 against the teams that are above 500. And if you take both against Charlotte, you do yourself some favors as well. That helps you out a ton. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, speaking of trends, will Monty buck a trend with the 3rd overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft? We'll talk about it next. The lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
The roar of the NTT IndyCar Series is back.
Robert Wickett, your leader, in for his final stop of the night. These guys haven't made a mistake, but a little problem with the right rear.
Take a look to the inside. No, Hicks slams the door into turn number 1.
They're side by side. Joseph Newgarden has made the pass.
Listen to the NTT IndyCar Series at Phoenix Raceway, live this Saturday.
12:30 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060.
The Psychedelic Furs are back, live. May 28th, 7:30 p.m. at the Celebrity Theater. The Psychedelic Furs. Playing all the hits with special guests. We Are Scientists. Tickets on sale now at celebritytheater.com. The Psychedelic Furs, brought to you by Danny Zalisco Presents.
Every day begins with the promise of something new, a new perspective, a fresh start. At Banner Health, Right here, right now, we're pioneering new ways to treat cancer with our own immune systems. We're among the first to treat Parkinson's with the patient's own cells. And we're a world leader in artificial heart implantation, all while training over 1,300 doctors every year. Impressive, right? It's just another banner day. Banner Health.
Right now at Superstar Car Wash, it's buy one wash, get one free. Yep, buy a wash, get a wash on us. Perfect for sharing and saving. Don't miss this limited time offer. Be super and stop by your nearest location today.
If you've been disappointed by underachieving savings, a high-yield certificate from America First can be a fantastic way to help your money start doing more. Whether you're planning for an upcoming expense or just want to save smarter and earn bigger, America First's flexible certificates are an outstanding way to grow your cash. So don't wait to get your money working. Head to americafirst.com and open a high-yield certificate today. Membership eligibility, terms, conditions, and change apply. Fees could reduce account earnings. Federally insured by NCUA.
For nearly 25 years, Primavera has helped thousands of Arizona students succeed with an accredited world-class education, tuition-free and from home. Don't wait. Enroll today at chooseprimavera.com. That's chooseprimavera.com.
Postseason play begins for ASU women's basketball right here on KDUS AM 1060. The Lady Sun Devils have fought hard all season long and are ready to show off their skills in postseason play against the Wildcats of the U of A this Wednesday. Join Jeff Mudd on the call live. It's round one of the Phillips 66 Big 12 women's basketball tournament between ASU and the University of Arizona. Pregame at 4 p.m. and tip-off at 4:30 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS app.
You know, we didn't discuss this when we talked Cardinals earlier this hour. Didn't feel like the right time to bring it up, but I'll bring it up now. The Arizona Cardinals will be playing in the Hall of Fame game. And this is going to be a tough one for the program. The show is going to have a tough time in the Hall of Fame game because the Arizona Cardinals will be kicking off the NFL preseason against the Carolina Panthers. Now, this is because Larry Fitzgerald going into the Hall of Fame, Luke Kuechly going into the Hall of Fame. So two teams who will have their, couple of their franchise icons be immortalized in Canton will be playing in the Hall of Fame game. But what is producer Evan going to do? Because it's the team he talks about and covers on a daily basis with the team that apparently is just taking over his heart in the Carolina Panthers. Now, it's preseason, so maybe that's the out that you get.
Yeah, the Panthers, I would call them my darling team.
You just have an affinity for them.
And it's so funny because
it's Bryce. It's what it is.
It's just Bryce.
You love Bryce
because I didn't root for them.
Because you're mad at Dave Canales because he's giving up play calling duties.
I know it's just this regime in the Cardinals. Like in the Panthers. Like I didn't really have this affinity for Cam Newton and those guys. It's just Bryce. I love Bryce.
So they trade Bryce today. Breaking news sounder: Bryce Young traded. You're out. The Panthers are dead to you.
Yeah, but it also depends what organization he goes to.
That'll be your new team.
Like if he no, because like if he goes to the Cardinals, not the Cardinals, if he goes to like the Cowboys, like I'm really gonna have a hard time.
That's gonna be tough for you.
That like I just couldn't do it. Like
this is never gonna happen. He gets traded here. I mean, you're celebrating in the streets.
I'm buying jerseys. We're gonna do a giveaway once a week for a Bryce Young Cardinals jersey.
So the Cardinals will be playing in the Hall of Fame game. They will be playing the Carolina Panthers. Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly going into the Hall of Fame. So those two teams make sense. You want to, those fan bases are already going to be there. The teams can be there. And by the way, this means the Cardinals get to start training camp early. They get to start their offseason activities early.
Advantage? LaFleur.
So, I'll give you the drop.
LaFleur.
So that is the one benefit to doing this. They play in that preseason game, and so they'll get a head start. So we'll have training camp storylines before everybody else. So that will be a lot of fun. And when that rolls around, when the Hall of Fame game gets here, when training camp opens, the Arizona Cardinals will have a draft class that we'll get to see for the first time. And that draft class more than likely will include the number 3 overall pick, barring a trade of the selection. And in the mock draft that we talked about yesterday from Jordan Reed over at ESPN, he had the Cardinals selecting edge David Bailey out of Texas Tech. And I want to talk about this for two different reasons. One, there's a trend, and we've mentioned it here on the show before about how Monty is operated in the first round. But also, I want to talk about how I'm kind of falling in love with the idea of the Cardinals going edge rusher at number 3. And I've been the offensive lineman guy, but I'm starting to understand why an edge rusher may make a ton of sense. Let's start with the trend. Monty, in the 3 drafts, this will now be the 4th draft that he's overseen as the general manager. There is a trend that has emerged. Maybe it's just a small sample size, but I do think it is worth noting. He has never taken a player in the first round outside of an SEC or a Big Ten school. And we know that inside of college football, those two conferences are looked at as separate from everybody else, right? They are the two conferences that want all of the guaranteed buys, the automatic bids. They are the two conferences that are viewed on a different level of the pyramid. Well, Monty kind of agrees because he likes to, in the first round, take players from the schools that reside in those conferences. Well, David Bailey plays for Texas Tech. David Bailey, Texas Tech, Big 12 school. So that would be a trend that would be busted if the Cardinals selected David Bailey. Now, I don't want to get into a full-blown scouting report on David Bailey. Right now, he's a little bit of an unfinished product. He's probably just a designated pass rusher. Don't know how well he can fit against the run. And so there would be reasons to not take him. But that's where we can shift this conversation into the other thing I want to talk about. And that is this idea of going edge, whether it's Ruben Bain, whether it's David Bailey, if it's Arvell Reese, because he's available, this idea of taking an edge rusher at number 3. The one thing Mike LaFleur, I think, has to get right in year 1 is he has to be more competitive against the rest of the NFC West. He has to be more competitive against Seattle, has to be more competitive against his former team, the Rams, has to be better against the San Francisco 49ers. And so you've got to almost create your roster and build your offseason around that concept. How do we bridge that gap? We are not going to completely erase it. It takes multiple draft classes, multiple off seasons. It takes attrition on those teams' part. A lot of work goes into that gap being completely closed and or reversed. But how do we close it a little bit? How do we make it where we're more competitive? To me, the name of the game for the Arizona Cardinals is you got to be able to get after the quarterback. You've got to be able to slow down Matt Stafford. You've got to be able to slow down Brock Purdy. You've got to be able to create problems for Sam Darnold. And I don't think you're going to do that without 2 high floor, high ceiling pass rushers. I think you've got one of those guys. Josh Sweat, I think, is a high floor pass rusher. I think he raises the floor of that group, and you now are a at least respected edge group. They have to game plan around Josh Sweat. I think you need to turn that up to a level 12. I think you need to have 2 premium edge rushers. I think you need to have both sides of your defensive line creating problems for Seattle, for San Francisco, for LA. That's the way, while maybe you're building your offense and Malik Willis is learning as the new quarterback of the Cardinals and you're developing the chemistry of a brand new offensive line because you bring in 3 offensive line starters this offseason. The difference maker that you can have is our defense keeps us in games. Our pass rush keeps us in games. Our pass rush allows us to get to the 4th quarter against San Francisco, against LA, against Seattle, and we are in the game. It's one possession. Why? Because we're able to sack the quarterback. We've got them off rhythm. We've got them off schedule. They now aren't the big bad Seattle Seahawks who have a top 5 offense. They're not the Sean McVay Rams with Matt Stafford and guys are schemed wide open. We have the ultimate equalizer. And in today's NFL, it can't just be one guy. You got to have 2, especially in this division with this competition. So that's the case for going pass rusher early. That's the case for foregoing an offensive lineman. That's the case for building, even with an offensive-minded head coach, a defense that instills fear in the 3 teams in your division that you have to be able to instill fear in. They don't fear you. They don't respect you. They all beat you both times last year. You went 0-6 in the division. You want to change that? Starts up front. It starts with getting after the quarterback. You started that process last offseason. Just because you change coaches doesn't mean the job needs to be changed. Complete the job. Finish the job. That is the case for a pass rusher at number 3 overall. We got dueling drafts. We'll talk more about Kyler Murray leaving, but it's buy or sell to kick off hour number 2 next. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, choose the attorneys at Sweet James. They help you navigate the legal process and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to. Free case review. Help available 24/7. Hablamos Español. 800-9-million. 800-9-million. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tick-Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
Florence and the Machine presents the Everybody Scream Tour. Live at Desert Diamond Arena, Saturday, May 9th. The incomparable Florence and the Machine returns. With special guest, Mannequin Pussy. On sale now at livenation.com. The new album, Everybody Scream, available now.
Everybody Scream. Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at pepsipromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of PepsiCo.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors. Like ones that inspire a sense of wonder. Or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter. Or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. At home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Fridays at 5, I'm out exploring. From hiking up Camelback to skiing at Snowbowl, the adventures never stop with AAA. It's membership that travels with me, whether behind the wheel or a passenger. In my ride, my buddies, or a rental. AAA's got 24/7 expert help with tows, battery help, and more. Plus branch services like free passport photos and trip planning. Membership gives you all this and more for less than $6 a month. And I can add loved ones for half off. Call or visit your local branch today. AAA, your membership to go.
Jumbo Shrimp is back at Del Taco. One bite of Del's Jumbo Shrimp Taco, and yeah, you're on a whole different level of flavor. Top tier, no notes. Crispy golden shrimp, crunchy cabbage, fresh house-made pico de gallo, and savory secret sauce, all wrapped up in a warm flour tortilla with a fresh-cut lime wedge. And right now, get 2 for just $6. They're only here for a limited time, so level up with 2 crispy Jumbo Shrimp Tacos for $6. Only at Del Taco. Price and participation may vary.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hour number 2 of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you here today on the show. We've got a fun dueling drafts coming up here in just a little bit. We'll talk more about Kyler Murray and the official end of his tenure here in Arizona. But before that, it is a little buy or sell. The hottest sports takes here in the Valley. Producer Evan has them. I react to them. What do we got today, my friend?
I spilled just a little bit of coffee here on my sweatshirt right there in the break. Tough one.
Thought you were going to say that you spilt coffee on the equipment.
That would have been way worse.
That would have been a
way worse.
Would have been a disaster.
With all that being said, Kyler Murray will be a backup quarterback somewhere next year.
So you're saying he will not start week 1 of next year?
Correct.
I will sell this take. I think he's going to be a starter somewhere.
Any predictions?
Well, he's a free agent now, right? So he can pick.
He can pick where he goes.
Where he wants to go. I know Minnesota is the popular destination.
They're interested.
Atlanta is a popular destination.
Correct.
The Jets have been brought up. He would start for the Jets because they don't have a quarterback right now on their roster. Would he start for Minnesota? You'd have to think they're not bringing
If they're bringing him in, it's to start.
Atlanta's weird, right? Because Atlanta, you feel like you'd be bringing him in to start to give Michael Penix all the time in the world to recover.
But who knows?
So I think if he ends up on one of those three teams, he's the starter week 1. So I'll sell the take. He's not a backup.
Rasheer Fleming will consistently get minutes for the rest of the year.
Yeah, bye. I mean, this coaching staff, Jordan Knott in particular, gives me the vibe of if you earn it, I'm not going to take it away from you. Now you're going to have to get creative when Jordan Goodwin comes back and Dylan Brooks is back in the fold. But if Rasheer Fleming makes it impossible to take him out of the lineup, he will be in there. And if he continues to play the way he's played, we'll just use the last 2 games as an example, then Jordan Knott is going to make him a member of this rotation.
Yeah, he's got a role, right? He is a consistent role, and it's hard to see them pulling the rug under that right now.
If he continues to play well, he'll have a role. The only way I think he'll see that role diminish when these guys get back is if he starts to struggle or isn't playing up to the way he's played the last 2 games.
The Cardinals changed some of their draft plans after their combine last week.
Depends on how they felt about Sonny Styles before the combine.
Or Ruben Bain.
I don't know how to answer this one because I'm not in the room. I don't know how they felt about Ruben Bain before the combine. Maybe they were worried about the arm length before the combine.
Maybe.
So
did it become worse or better?
This just confirmed what they were worried about. Maybe they loved Sonny Styles before the combine. I don't know. I'm not in the room. I'm not part of these conversations. I'm going to buy this because I don't think anybody's draft plans are set in stone at the combine. You probably have a working idea. You know the names that could be there for you at number 3, especially when you're picking this high up in the draft. It's kind of easy to know who's going to be on the board. So they probably have an idea, but nothing is set in stone in March. So, yeah, their draft plans probably changed a little bit.
The Suns will catch the Lakers in the standings within the next 6 games. Let me give you both games. For the Suns, their next 6 games. At home versus Chicago.
Win.
At home versus New Orleans.
Win.
At home versus Charlotte.
Win.
At Milwaukee.
Win.
At Indiana.
Win.
At Toronto.
Loss.
Okay.
5-1 for the Suns.
For the Lakers. At Denver.
Loss.
Home versus Indiana.
Win.
Home versus New York.
Win.
Home versus Minnesota.
Win.
Home versus Chicago.
Win.
Home versus Denver.
Win.
Wow. Okay, so you gave them 5-1 too.
It was harder to get to their 5-1.
Certainly. But if they lose one of the New York or the Minnesota games, or both, and split with Denver, you could see the Suns catching them.
I have them splitting with Denver, don't I?
You do. You had them losing.
In Denver, but winning at home.
But you also had them winning both New York and Minnesota.
Yeah, which maybe they won't do that. So they'll go 4-2.
Just looking at their schedule and who the Lakers have played, if they go 4-2, they still have a game here on the Suns. I'm trying to find when they played the Knicks last. They lost to the Knicks 112-100 in New York. That was a few weeks back, and then pre-All-Star break. And then as far as Minnesota, just taking their most recent game against Minnesota. Let's see if we can find it. They won 116-115 October 29th.
So it's been a while.
So they've beaten Minnesota twice, but they haven't played them since October. They played them twice in the first week and a half of the season.
So 4-2, 5-1. I don't. I think when we get through this 6-game stretch, the
Lakers
Suns
will be 4-2, Suns 5-1,
and so they'll be what, tied?
At that point, they would Lakers got a win last night, so they stayed 2 games up.
So there would be 1 game difference. So no, I think the Lakers will stay in front over the next 6 games.
Wow.
What you're saying? That
I think you're just very confident in the Lakers.
I mean, I had the Suns going 5-1 in that stretch.
No, I know, and you should, because they're a 5-1 team. But I just think you're very confident in what the Lakers got going on.
It's not about confidence. It's that they play Chicago and Indiana, and I think they're going to split the Denver games. That's 3 right there.
You don't think Indiana?
So even if I only give them those 3 and they go 3-3, the best the Suns can do then is be tied with them if they go 5-1. You're
Correct.
saying they're going to pass them.
Correct.
So no, I don't think that's going to be the case.
No, I said tie. We'll catch the Lakers in thing.
I
think that means tie.
That's assuming 3-3 for the Lakers and the Suns going 5-1. Now, the Suns schedule a lot easier than the Lakers schedule, but there's the beginning of a road trip in here that I'm worried about. So no, I will. Best case scenario, I think the Suns go 5-1, and then I think best case scenario, if you're looking at it from the Lakers' perspective, 3-3.
3-3, I think, yeah. And which case you would catch them?
That's best case scenario. That's best case scenario on both sides. I don't think we get the best case scenario on both sides.
That's fair. Alec Thomas has cemented his role in center field with his hot start to spring.
Everybody wants a Jordan Lawler, Ryan Waldschmidt, Corbin Carroll opening day outfield.
Yeah,
now,
nobody wants Alec Thomas.
I can't
out there.
blame you for wanting those 3 guys in the outfield just to see what it would look like. I think Alec Thomas has played.
Alec Thomas is batting .375 in spring, added 2 hits yesterday in the Mexico Diamondbacks game. I got to tell you, there is nobody, and he has great recovery speed. There is nobody I've seen consistently play center field and come up on a ball that you're like, that's way over your head, Alec. And it's like a turnaround sprint, turnaround catch like this every time. Every time.
F8. It's an F.
He's a ton of F8.
All of it is an F8 in your scorecard. Doesn't matter how we get there. Yeah, I think Alec Thomas is going to be the opening day center field.
Leads to a couple E8s.
I
None worse than the World Series one. The World Series E8 was the worst I've ever seen.
I think the hot start with his bat in spring is making it pretty easy to pencil him in as the center fielder. Although he could play left. If you want to go Thomas, Waldschmidt, Carroll, you could do that too. He's not playing right field in spring, so I think the expectation is Corbin Carroll's going to be back. By the way, Brendan Pfaadt going to make his spring debut.
Is he?
He's on the ledger, yeah.
That's great to see. Jeremiah Love will be a top 5 pick in the draft.
So he's not going to the Raiders.
Vegas, New York, Arizona,
there.
Tennessee, New York Giants.
No, he will not be a top 5 selection.
Well, a recent report, the Titans love Notre Dame running back. From a source over at ESPN.
That's nice. That's wonderful. I'm happy that the Titans love Love, but it's not happening.
They love Love.
They love Love. Who doesn't love Love?
I mean, what a great way to put it. The Titans love Love. I could see him being a top 5 pick. If somebody moves in.
If somebody moves up, potentially. I don't think any of the teams currently situated in the top 5 will take him. Okay. The Giants are not taking a running back in the top 5. That is, John Harbaugh's not going to allow that to happen.
Yeah, you're probably
the Raiders aren't, the Jets aren't, the Cardinals shouldn't. So that's 4 of the 5.
Joe Shane could make it.
Joe Shane is not in charge. Joe Shane's not the one making that pick.
That's correct.
Let me tell you something right now.
Correct.
Joe Shane's not making that selection.
They gave him the old treatment of take all the power from him.
He may get the index card to sign it, but that name's not going to – he's not the one –
No, it'll be his name on the index card, but he didn't make any of the selection.
No,
he may not even be in the war room.
No, he'll be in the war room. When they show the shot
he'll
of the
be
Giants
there.
draft room, he'll be in there.
He'll be in there celebrating with everybody that they got their guy.
Let me tell you something right now. He is not making that pick at number 5. That is going to be a John Harbaugh special.
The Cardinals will draft a quarterback.
This is at any point in the draft.
Yeah.
Yes, I will buy this.
I should have said first 2 days.
Now that's where it gets interesting. I still think
the Cardinals will draft a quarterback in the first 2 days.
I think it's still a buy for the first 2 days. I think whether it's trading back into the first round like Jordan Reed's ESPN mock yesterday had to get Ty Simpson, and it's kind of becoming a popular team and player fit to throw in these mocks, or it's a Garrett Nussmeier or Drew Aller on day 2. I just think they're going to take a swing, even if they get Malik Willis on Monday. Because you just don't know what Malik Willis is. You're signing him because you think he could be the guy.
Yeah, you're signing him because of the ceiling, but you don't have a floor, really.
Right, so you kind of want to hedge a little. So I think they're going to, yes.
That's all I got for you.
Wow.
That was the fastest we've ever gotten through. That was 8 buy or sells.
Well, we've got a dueling drafts.
That could take a while.
That could take a while. So
that could take a while.
Could take a little bit. So I'm glad that we're getting out here a little bit on time. When we come back, it's a top 5 list, dueling drafts. The WBC gets underway this week. How about we draft WBC MVPs? We'll get to it next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
Indiana is not cheating. Lining up, punching the other guy in the face for 60 minutes, not against the rules. I challenge any of your social media whistleblowers to tell Kurt Signetti to his face that he is a cheater.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount.
Bad Omens. Do you feel love? North American Tour 2026. Live at Desert Diamond Arena, March 24th. Bad Omens. With special guests, Beartooth and President. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Bad Omens, live in Glendale.
Ready to refresh your space for less? At Living Spaces, thoughtful design and direct sourcing keep prices low while quality stays high. With sofas starting at just $295, queen beds from $195, and dining sets from just $295. Updating every room is within reach. Plus, enjoy fast, free shipping as soon as next day. So your new favorites arrive without the wait. Your next piece is waiting only at Living Spaces.
Living Spaces.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Weekends now through March 29th. Be ready to have a great time. Amazing adventure awaits the entire family. New shows, shopping, jousting nights, non-stop feasting. Leave your cares behind. Happiness reigns at the Renaissance Festival. It's fun and affordable. Visit now through March 29th. Discount tickets available at Bashas' and Food City or online at arizona.renfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Bashas', Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness. Huzzah!
And this is Above the Noise. After trading away Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams for a haul of draft capital, the Jets' rebuild became evident. That's why the franchise tagging running back Breece Hall raised eyebrows. On the surface, committing roughly $14 million to a running back during a rebuild feels counterintuitive. The Jets have holes across the roster. Premium resources are supposed to be preserved, not allocated to a position many deem replaceable. But rebuilds are not conducted in a vacuum. At 24, Hall was not a declining veteran clinging to past production. He's a top talent. Draft picks represent possibility. Hall represents proof. If New York continually flips young talent for future assets, the cycle never stabilizes. It may not be conventional, but if the Jets want to avoid living in the top 5, they cannot move every cornerstone. Some pieces have to stay. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. 2 words, prostate exam. Relax. Screening starts with a simple finger-free blood test. Around 1 in 8 men in the United States will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. Prostate cancer can have over a 99% 5-year relative survival rate when caught at a localized or regional stage. If you're 40 or over and have a prostate, visit relaxitsabloodtest.com to see if a PSA blood test is right for you. Talk to your doctor about screening and the next steps. Sponsored by Novartis. Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the road. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you're looking for expert recommendations or know exactly what you want, Tire Rack makes it really easy. Fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, convenient installation options, and the best selection of Yokohama tires. Go to TireRack.com/Dan, see their Yokohama test results, tire ratings, and reviews, and be sure to check out all the special offers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RT O'Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RT O'Sullivan every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. We got some dueling drafts here today. It's our top 5 list. With the WBC getting underway. Is our first game tonight? The WBC?
First game is tonight.
First game tonight for the WBC. We're going to get ahead of it. We're going to do our draft of the WBC MVP. So we're hoping that we get the MVP
on our team.
On our list. Now, last week when we did our predicting who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, producer Evan went first. I got the back-to-back picks. So I'm going to give producer Evan the choice. What does he want?
I would like the back-to-back picks.
So you want the back-to-back picks. Now, I don't know if you can even get this guy. Because I've got the odds. I'm looking at one place. I think BetMGM is who I have up right now. I don't see this guy's name on the list.
What?
I think this is the lock. Now, let me just check something. Because his status was up in the air yesterday. Just check on something. His arrival to the WBC was delayed, but he plans on joining the team. This is a bit of a risky dart throw on my part.
You're taking with the number 1 pick?
Maybe I'll wait. Maybe I'll wait now. This guy. Because I think he's going to win it. I think it's a lock that he wins it. Give me Aaron Judge.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What was...
Well, I don't want to tell you who I want to take because I may take him with my second pick here.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair.
So I'm going to lock you in for Ohtani.
No, I won't be taking Ohtani.
You won't be taking Ohtani at all?
I won't, no.
So I can just have him in my number 5 selection.
Maybe if he's around later. But
I mean, you're getting the best player on Team USA. Number 1 overall.
Well, here's my thought. I really just don't think Japan's going to win. In which case, I don't think they'll win the MVP.
You're just going to take 5 USA guys?
No.
Oh,
no.
You're big on the Dominican Republic.
Yes, I'm going to take Juan Soto.
Really? You guys taking Juan Soto, number 1 overall. Guys, plus 3,000 to win the award.
And I'm going to take Bryce Harper.
Juan Soto and Bryce Harper.
I was shocked to see Bryce Harper as the 3rd best odds. But it makes sense. He's batting 2 in the lineup, it looks like. And, yeah, I just think he's going to have a lot of opportunity.
Right, so I'll take Shohei Ohtani since you're just going to leave him for me.
Yeah. You can have him.
Thank you. I'll take him with the number 2 selection. He's not going to pitch, so I'm just hoping that he has an outrageous hitting WBC.
That was also what held me up a little. Like, he would be the first pick if he was pitching too. But not pitching, I just, it's tough for me to pick him.
Give me Kyle Schwarber.
That's a good pick. It's a good pick.
Another big bat for the Americans, for Team USA, for my number 3. I've got a plan if it can get to me with my next 2 picks. I've got a master plan here.
Yeah, I don't think it will.
That I'm going to feel great about here in a second.
Give me Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Okay, that's fine. That was not part of the plan.
And based on an announcement by D-Row, give me Nolan McClain.
That's who I wanted to take number 1 overall. That is who I was considering number 1 overall. And the reason why, now I'll give away my insight that I was going to use. 4 of the 5 WBC MVPs have been pitchers. 4 of the 5. Now, we're kind of cheating a little bit because the last one was Shohei Ohtani. So he was doing 2 things. But 4 of the 5 have been pitchers. The only WBC MVP that was not a pitcher was, I believe it was Robinson Cano. Well, hold on, let me stand by.
Really?
Let me just stand by. Robinson Cano in 2013 was the MVP. The 5 MVPs in the history of the WBC. Daisuke Matsuzaka in both 2006 and 2009.
Wow.
Robinson Cano in 2013.
Stroman.
Marcus Stroman in 2017. And then Shohei Ohtani when we did this in 2023. So taking a pitcher is not a bad bet. You've got Nolan McClain. I'll take the next best pitcher. Give me Yamamoto.
Good point. You didn't want to take Roki Sasaki?
I don't know. I didn't no. Not interested in taking Roki Sasaki.
And for my last pick.
Hold on now. You don't get to make your last pick.
Oh, sorry.
I've got one more.
Yes, you do.
So now I need to decide what I want to do. Because I have 2 players from Team Japan. I've got 2 players from Team USA. Do I want to grab
Dominican Republic?
Do I want to grab somebody from the Dominican Republic, or do I want to take Logan Webb? Those are the 2 things I'm considering right now. Logan Webb could be the pick, so I have another pitcher. But I think I'm going to smartly take Fernando Tatis Jr.
That's a good pick.
So that rounds out my top 5.
And for me, I'm going to take if Japan wins it, this guy's going to have to be great.
Say Suzuki?
Yeah.
That's not a bad pick. Suzuki plus 3,000. I'll read you the full odds here in a second. So just to recap, drafting WBC MVPs, I've got Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, Kyle Schwarber, Yamamoto, and Tatis Jr. Evan's got Juan Soto, Bryce Harper, Vlad Jr., Nolan McClain, and Seiya Suzuki. You want some of the odds here?
Yes.
Aaron Judge is the favorite at plus 750. Shohei Ohtani is at plus 1,100. Paul Skeens and Bryce Harper at plus 1,600. I think betting on Paul Skeens is just it's better to just give me the money. I can have a better use for that money.
He's not going to pitch in the championship game.
He's starting a group stage game and then not pitching again.
No, that's Skubal.
No,
right?
I'm sorry, Skubal.
Yeah, so Skeens is going to pitch twice.
So Skeens is going to pitch twice.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
But remember, he's on a 55 pitch count. So he's only going to throw 100 pitches.
So what are you going to get
in the WBC? So you need him to be dominant in 55 pitches in a playoff game.
Not a bad guy to pick to be dominant in Paul Skeens over 55 pitches. But
not at all. But you need him to strike out probably 10 in 55 pitches.
Bryce Harper also at plus 1,600. Kyle Schwarber and Gunnar Henderson both at plus 1,800. Now you get into these tiers. Logan Webb, Vlad Guerrero Jr., and Bobby Witt Jr. all at plus 2,200. And then you've got a bunch of names at plus 3,000.
The sleeper is Roman Anthony.
I'll get to him in a second. Plus 3,000. You got Juan Soto, Seiya Suzuki, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Hal Riley, Byron Buxton, Munetaka Murakami, all at plus 3,000. Then you got at plus 4,000 Roman Anthony, as producer Evan mentioned, Ronald Acuna Jr., Kanuma Okamoto, and Julio Rodriguez at plus 400. And then my last pick, Fernando Tatis Jr. at plus 600. So, producer Evan, you have a pick on your board that is not on this list at all in Nolan McClain.
Yeah.
Now, I would have taken him number 1 overall.
See, it's funny you're saying that. Where are you getting your odds?
I'm just looking at a bet MGM.
I'm on FanDuel.
Okay.
And I have McClain at plus 2,500.
So on the board, but just not super high up.
Yeah, like he is.
I'll tell you, I think McClain is tremendous value.
McClain is 9th on this list. And he's the first guy that's going to be pitching. Sorry, the second pitcher on the list. Paul Skeens is the only one above him. And again, I'll take the guy who gets the championship game start.
Yeah.
And then the other one, see, I have slightly different odds than you on FanDuel here. So interesting to see. The other one that I think could be good, Christopher Sanchez, if you stay with the pitcher belief, he's the best pitcher on the Dominican.
Yeah, so if you think they're going to go far and you want to follow the trend of
pitchers,
that's the guy. And when I looked at the last MVPs in the WBC and I saw that they were all pitchers, and knowing that we know McClain is going to start the final, if he's dominant in his group stage start and they win the game behind a good start in the final, he's got to be the favorite. I think plus 2,500 is some of the best value you're going to get. Now, the problem is he's been delayed showing up to camp because he's had vertigo-like symptoms. He thinks that's behind him and that he's going to be okay. He's still on schedule to make that start, but that may be the only reason to not bet him. But if you want to take a pitcher and you think Team USA is going to win, I'm sorry, that's better value than Skeens. That's better value than Logan Webb. You've got a guy that we all know is going to pitch in the final. The manager has said as much.
I have a question. How long does it take typically to get over vertigo?
He said Friday night is when he started feeling them. Loss of appetite. Did not report to camp. He then stayed with the Mets in Port St. Lucie and felt better on Saturday. He did pitch on Sunday. He's going to throw again today on the backfields, and considering it's already 2:30 on the East Coast, he's probably already done that. And as long as that all goes well, he's expected to report to Team USA.
And he pitched for the Mets yesterday.
He pitched on the side for the Mets yesterday. He has not been in a game since his first spring
How
start.
do you feel?
I don't remember hearing anything out of the norm. And, you would know that I would know these things.
That's why I asked.
So it looks like he's going to be fine.
Yeah,
and you're getting two starts,
like
including the final.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I was going to take him number one overall.
I'm only getting 3 pitchers with 2 starts if they go to the final.
Yeah. So not bad for a little dueling draft here on a Wednesday. When we come back, your phone calls, always welcome, 480-864-1060. You can also chat away with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. It failed. It's over. Does it matter? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
It's the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series GovX 200 event at Phoenix Raceway.
The NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series.
Here they come down to the line. Green flag goes in the air.
Heads west to the desert.
And they're wrecking in turn 3. Around goes Williams Sawalit.
To race under the lights at Phoenix Raceway.
For the final time, Austin Hill has dominated Daytona. Austin Hill yet again will win at Daytona.
It's the GovX 200.
This Saturday, 5 p.m. on AM 1060 KDUS.
Stained Break the Cycle 25th Anniversary Tour. Featuring Seether. Stained. October 13th, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. With special guests, Hoobastank and Hinder. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Part of the America First Credit Union Series.
Been crazy busy these days? Sounds like you could use a little we time. That means playtime at the AAA 4-Diamond Wekopa Casino Resort. Game time with more than 900 slots plus table games. Maybe a tea time on one of 2 nationally ranked courses. And definitely some hang time at WKP Sportsbook, the largest sportsbook in the state. Wekopa Casino Resort. It's we time.
When I was a kid, my dream wasn't a mansion. It wasn't a yacht. It was a 250cc Kawasaki dirt bike sitting in the garage. That garage and that bike represented freedom. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello. At A1 Garage Door Service, we know your garage holds more than tools. It holds dreams. From repairs to upgrades, call A1 Garage Door Service today or schedule online at a1garage.com.
A1 from day one. With a Global credit card, you earn reward points for every purchase. Use your rewards at checkout at many of your favorite stores, or use points instead of cash when you shop online. You can even use them to book a flight up to 3 days in advance. New York, Vegas, Albuquerque. From groceries to getaways, redeem your way. Apply for your Global credit card now at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
You won't believe everything I just saw. I went to Disneyland, and it was the 70th celebration. First, I went to Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Live, and I danced with Goofy. At night, I saw this parade. Everything was glowing. Sorcerer Mickey was there, and Lightning McQueen. Oh, then I went to this giant water show with all the Inside Out characters. And I was like, whoa. And then my parents were like, whoa. Oh, and guess what? Bluey and Bingo are coming for real life.
Make memories that last a lifetime during the 70th celebration with Paint the Night Parade, World of Color Happiness, and Bluey's Best Day Ever. Coming soon. Save with Good Neighbor Hotel packages starting at $164 per person per night on select days through March 31st, 2026. For a party of 4 adults, including 2-day, 1-park-per-day tickets and a 3-night stay at a select Good Neighbor Hotel in a deluxe room. Total price $1,960. Visit Disneyland.com/Good Neighbor Hotels for details.
It's the NASCAR Cup Series Straight Talk Wireless 500 at Phoenix Raceway.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
Green flag is flying. Here's Kyle Busch. He'll get the advantage on the outside lane.
Annual West Coast Swing begins in the Valley of the Sun.
Allgaier put the block on topside, made contact, and we've got a big one here at Daytona. Here comes Tyler Reddick. He'll make the move. They're crashing behind him. Elliott's in the wall.
It's the Straight Talk Wireless 500.
This Sunday, 11:30 a.m. on KECG 1440.
Producer Evan, you want to feel good about the value you got?
Love to feel good.
Nolan McLean just met with the media during the last break. All good. He just wants to meet with the doctors one more time, but he doesn't feel anything, and he feels ready to make that start against Italy. So you got some good value there.
I love hearing that.
With that 4th selection. Speaking of things on social media, Aaron Rodgers supposed to be on Pat McAfee. Anything worthy of the breaking news sounder? Has anything occurred? I was perusing social media during the break. I didn't see anything. It was a big deal this morning that
he could also be late.
No. Aaron Rodgers? Not on time for a Pat McAfee appearance? It's never happened.
I haven't seen anything yet.
Please keep an eye on that for me. Maybe we'll have an update in the leftovers.
He isn't making a decision today.
Oh, so then who? So then,
if you're expecting me to announce some big decision here, just leave now.
Perfect. You know what, Rodgers?
Who cares?
I'm good. Even better. Even better. I've got another drop for this. I have not missed anything. I'm good. Not going to miss a thing today.
Just, the 4-time league MVP.
I thought maybe since out of nowhere he was making an appearance that he
was. Yeah, you thought
he
could make an announcement.
I thought wrong. Maybe just
wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not even like I'm going back to Pittsburgh, but like, hey, I'm going to play. I'm not going to play.
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought I was going to get today. But okay. Yesterday, we did learn that Kyler Murray is not going to play for the Arizona Cardinals next season. They do plan to release him on the first day of the new league year. It looks like they're going to designate him a post-June 1 cut, which means they're going to carry his cap hit all the way to June 1st and then cut him. And so they're going to have, I think, $47 million in a cap hit this year and then another $5 or $7 million on the books for next season in terms of a cap hit. And now this new chapter begins. And I don't think it is unfair if you wanted to use the phrase failure to describe the Kyler Murray tenure. Now, I think it is unfair to put it all on Kyler, but if you want to say that this whole era was a failure, I'm not going to disagree with you. The playoff loss, the one playoff appearance, the number 1 overall pick, never really getting close to making a deep run in the playoffs, the one singular playoff game, the one playoff appearance. You have every right, and I would agree with you that this was a failure. But I have a follow-up question for you. Does it matter that it was a failure? Now, when I mean that, not how you feel, because yes, it matters that 7 years of all of our collective NFL watching lives was wasted watching this try to become a thing, right? I get it from that perspective. That part matters. You Sundays, Thursdays, Mondays, Saturdays during the football season took time that you could have been doing something else to watch something in the Arizona Cardinals that turned out to be a massive waste of time. So from that perspective, it does matter. But the GM that drafted the quarterback isn't here. The head coach, 2 head coaches that were here coaching Kyler Murray are gone. The offensive coordinator that's here now didn't have a seat at the table. Nobody outside of Michael Bidwell. Nobody that was at the table making the decision to take Kyler Murray number 1 overall is still here. So does it matter that it failed? Emotionally, it matters. Emotionally, it bothers you that 7 years of your football life was wasted. Of course, it bothers you that for 7 years you have not been able to talk about an NFC championship run or going to the Super Bowl like Seattle just did. You haven't been anywhere close to that. So it hurts. It bothers you. It should. That's what being a fan's all about. But does it actually matter? Does that past failure mean that there's going to be future problems? I would contend no. The GM that's about to pick a quarterback, the head coach that's about to pick a quarterback here in the next couple of days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the GM that may or may not pick a quarterback in the draft, that GM didn't pick Kyler Murray. That GM didn't extend Kyler Murray. That coach didn't pick Kyler Murray. That coach didn't build an offense around Kyler Murray. If you had a coach who was getting his second bite of the apple, if you were getting a GM that was getting a second bite of the apple, then yes, it matters that it failed. Because how do we know that you can make the right decision this go around? But this power structure, this GM, this coach, this is their first bite of the apple. This is the first apple that's been on the table for these guys. So it doesn't matter that it failed. It doesn't matter that those 7 years didn't amount to anything more than one playoff appearance and one playoff loss. Because the people that are going to chart a course for a new chapter of Cardinals football have nothing to do with that. So this is where today, if there's one thing that you take away from today's program, I hope it is, today is the day it is over. Today is the day that we move on. Yeah, the cap hit's going to be there, and it's going to be a reminder, right? It's going to be like a scar after you fall off your bike as a kid. It's going to be the reminder of what happened, but it's over. You can get back on the bike. You can move on. You don't have to talk about the waste of the 7 years. You don't have to talk about the disappointment, the failure. That's what today is about. That's what yesterday was about after the news came out. But after today, it's okay to move on. You should move on. Because nothing about the last regime, the people that made those choices, that led us down this 7 years of nothingness, none of those people are making the decision this go around. So I want today to be the day we move on. You got to hold me to this, producer Evan. You have to hold me to this idea that today is the day we move on. I'm not going to talk about, the past with Kyler Murray. It's over. These 7 years ended. Now, are we going to be able to hold ourselves to this? Because I'm the one driving the boat here, and I tend to take us in all sorts of different directions on a pretty regular basis. So can I keep myself to this standard? Because the complaints have been out there. Can't wait to move on from Kyler. Can't wait to move on from Kyler. Can't wait to move on from Kyler. Okay. We're moving on from Kyler. It's over. Let it go. Because the past does not predict the future. Not in this case, not with the people that are in charge. So it is okay to move on, wipe the slate clean, and let's see what this group does. And if it works out, great. If it doesn't, then we hold them accountable. But Monty didn't pick him. Monty didn't extend him. Now, Code brings up an interesting point on our YouTube channel. He says, brace yourself for all those that will say, see, we should have kept him every time he throws a touchdown or makes a play for another team. I got to tell you, if you make that comment in the live chat or you call me, 480-864-1060, if you do any of that, I think it's an immediate one-day ban from the program. I think it's an immediate suspension. I think I've only suspended one person in the history of the show. You would become number 2.
We're giving out suspensions?
I would give out a suspension if after all of this bluster about wanting to move on, if during an NFL rewind on Mondays, the chat is littered with people talking about Kyler playing well for Minnesota or Atlanta or New York or whatever the case may be. Coach says, none of that matters. It didn't work here. It's over. Yes, that's the message that you should have today. It doesn't matter what happens now in the future for Kyler Murray. It also doesn't matter what happened in the past. The slate is officially wiped clean. You've got the cap hit as a reminder of the mistake, just like you have the cap hit of Bradley Beal as a reminder of a mistake. But you know what we haven't been doing all season long for the Phoenix Suns? you know what we haven't been doing? I haven't been thinking about Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal.
Yeah, we haven't checked in on Bradley Beal or Kevin Durant and see how they're playing.
Houston comes up on the schedule. We're like, oh, we're playing Kevin Durant.
That's really it.
That's it. Now, it helps that the Suns are winning and they're successful. I get all of that. But you believe in the direction. You believe in the team. You believe in where it's going, so it's easy to move on. Let's hope that Monty and Michael LaFleur can do the same thing. Because if they can, we're going to forget about Kyler Murray. NFL stands not for long, right? Well, hopefully the Cardinals and the fan base's memory is short term, and we can move on to Malik Willis or Jimmy Garoppolo or Ty Simpson or whoever's going to be the quarterback next. It failed, yes.
It's okay.
7 years wasted, yes. I won't even say that. It wasn't okay. That sucked. Those 7 years were brutal.
Yeah, they were terrible.
They're over. They are now officially over, so let it go. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, we've got all the stories we didn't get to here today on the program. We call them the leftovers. We will get to them next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
ASU Baseball to complement your Sunday right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Sun Devils as they look to square off against LMU and finish the weekend strong. Head coach Willie Bloomquist knows how to lead his team to another win at home in 2026. Listen in live as ASU looks to defeat Loyola Marymount University. Pre-game coverage begins Sunday afternoon at 12:45 p.m. and first pitch at 1:05 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060, online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS app.
Life can change in an instant. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, everything can feel overwhelming. The pain, the stress, and the uncertainty of what comes next. You don't have to go through it alone. The attorneys at Sweet James understand the physical, emotional, and financial impact an accident can have. They're here to help you navigate the legal process and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to under the law. When you call Sweet James, you're connecting with a team of attorneys experienced in handling serious injury cases. Their work is driven by preparation, advocacy, and a genuine commitment to helping clients seek accountability and justice. Every case is different, and outcomes depend on the specific facts involved. If you've been injured in an accident, call the attorneys at Sweet James for your free case review. They handle everything for you so you can focus on healing. That's the Sweet James advantage. Help available 24/7. If you've been injured, call Sweet James for a free case review. Hablamos Español. 800-900-0000. 800-900-0000. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tick Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
Motley Crue, the return of the Carnival of Sins. September 16th, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. The Crew celebrates the 20th anniversary of Carnival of Sins. Motley Crue, with performances by Tesla and Extreme. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Motley Crue, part of the America First Credit Union concert series.
Before Arizona heat turns unbearable, get your AC ready with Ace Cooling, Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. Whether you need an AC tune-up, fast repair, or a new energy-efficient system, Ace helps keep your home cool, comfortable, and efficient all summer long. Beat the rush. Call Ace today at 602-536-4475 for free estimates and expert service. That's 602-536-4475. Or visit us online at acehomeaz.com. Acing Arizona's comfort needs since '94.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RTO Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RTO Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
We'll start the leftovers by letting you know 4 o'clock, right after the Jim Rome program. ASU women's basketball pregame. Tip is at 4:30. They will take on the University of Arizona in their first round matchup of the Big 12 tournament. They win, they will play at the same time tomorrow. And I believe that matchup is against Iowa State if they win tonight. So Jeff Munn on the call, producer Evan behind the scenes pushing all the buttons. That gets underway 4 o'clock. Pregame 4:30 tip right here on KDUS AM 1060. You can also listen to it in the free KDUS AM 1060 app. No Sports Zoo tonight because of it, And we'll keep you up to date on the next time you can hear the Sports Zoo, because if ASU keeps winning, we'll be moving some stuff around here on the docket. Okay, with that out of the way, it is the leftovers. It's all the stories we didn't get to here today on the program, and I know producer Evan's been jonesing to talk about a big trade that I don't think is technically official in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't think it is either.
The new league year hasn't started, but a major trade that is going to happen in the NFL between the Chiefs and a team here in the division, the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, the Rams have agreed to a trade, getting all-pro cornerback Trent McDuffie. The Chiefs are getting, I believe, the number 29 selection, as well as a boatload of other picks. Looks like a third, maybe a fourth, and a seventh as well. So I can find the exact details.
I can tell you. You want them?
Yeah.
So it's going to be McDuffie going to the Rams. The Chiefs are getting back the number 29 pick in the 2026 NFL draft. They are also getting 5th and 6th round picks in 2026, and they are picking up a 2027 third round pick. And let me tell you, this is one of those rare trades I love for both sides. Which side do you want me to break down first?
Break it down for the Rams.
Okay. This is the benefit of having somebody else's first round pick. Remember, they have the Atlanta Falcons pick in the first round.
Correct.
So they can use their own pick to go get somebody like a Trent McDuffie, because at pick number 29, you weren't going to get somebody like a Trent McDuffie. So, yeah, you give up a 3 next year and a 5th and a 6th, but you get an impact player who you're going to sign to an extension. You still have a first-round pick to get a young player to help this year and to build around in the post-Stafford era. And you utilize the draft capital that you have in front of you, and you give it one more run with Matthew Stafford. I love this from the Rams' perspective. This is what happens when you have that additional first and you're in a win-now window. You can do something like this, and it really doesn't hurt you because you still have a premium draft pick that's going to allow you to build for the future as well.
The Rams have always been the team, they just do not care about the draft. Like, they don't care at all.
They've kind of changed that tune a little bit because they've been having a ton of success, right? Puka Nacua, Jared Verse. They've had a lot of success recently in rebuilding their core. But this is the benefit. You can have that philosophy when you have 2 first-round picks, because they're still picking. Where's Atlanta pick? Inside the top 10, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. 9? No, 9's Kansas City.
13. So they're just outside the top 10.
So Kansas City, by the way, think about it from their perspective. You talk about picking up draft capital. So they're going to pick at 9 and 29.
Right.
And
so they get
let's face it, defense is not the problem for them last year.
They get to maximize a top 10 asset.
Correct.
But also pick in an area that, let's face it, it's pretty familiar to them, the back part of the first round.
Yeah.
So they're pretty good at scouting that range of players every year, right? That's how they got Trent McDuffie in the first place. So I like this from the Rams. They're going for it. They're trying to go all in. How long are you going to have Stafford, right? How long are you going to have this window open? They're trying to maximize it with McDuffie. And from the Chiefs side of things, if you're not going to sign him to the long-term deal, getting another first-round pick, getting some extra picks this year and next year, I don't know if you're going to find anything with a 5th and a 6th. I don't know if next year's 3rd. I like day 2 picks, so you'd like to think that can be an impact player down the road. But now you arm yourself with 2 first-round picks to help fill some of the voids that you have, in addition to a healthy Mahomes next year. I think this is a win-win for both sides. Yes, if you're a Chiefs fan and you wanted them to keep Trent McDuffie, this is bad news for you, but it doesn't feel like they were going to come to terms on a long-term deal. And so this is, I think, the best.
You got 4 picks, including a 1st and a 3rd.
You can't
be upset.
The Kansas City Chiefs now have 4 top 75 picks.
I haven't looked at
They have 3 top 40 picks.
I just want to be clear. I have not looked at a single draft grade, a trade grade on this. I would be willing to bet the Chiefs got an A and the Rams got a B or a C.
I wouldn't be surprised if they both got A's. Here we go. How about this? Grades for every NFL trade. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Oh, the Rams got a C+. Chiefs get an A-. I love this.
It's still like
I know it's 4 picks.
And I know they have another, but it's still 4 picks. And I'm just telling, like, that's just how they're going to grade it.
Yeah, but it's 4 picks.
It's a lot of value
in a year where
I have another first round. I get it.
So,
but I'm just from another team's perspective. This is an aging roster, and they traded around the first pick. So I understand why they get that grade.
Let me just provide a different maybe approach to this, right? In the draft, we focus a lot on the first round, right? Because it's just such a big deal, right? It's a behemoth in the sport of football, right? It's a behemoth in sports, the first round of the NFL draft. But teams inside the league, they look at it as top 100, right? They look at it as how the top 100 is where you can get a ton of starters. The Rams traded 4 picks today, right? Including a first-round selection?
Correct.
They still have 3 top 100 picks. The Chiefs have 4. The Chiefs made the deal, got 4 picks in the trade. They have 4 top 100 picks. The Rams have 3. So the Rams dealt from a relative position of strength to make this deal happen. And I think that context is required when you're giving out a grade. Yes, it's 4 picks. Yes, it's a first. They still have 3 top 100 selections. They're still picking inside the top 15. They got better at a 5-pillar position at corner. And they're building a team to try to go for it one more time. I love it. I love it for both sides.
The NFL Bleacher Report posted an NFL article, top 2026 free agency values at every position. These are like bargains,
okay,
that you can get. Some names on the list here. They got 10. Quarterback Marcus Mariota.
He's going to be a popular name, right? After Malik Willis, and I think after Tua and Kyler to a certain extent, now that Daniel Jones got the transition tag, I think there's going to be somebody who thinks that they can have a floor of 6 or 7 wins with Marcus Mariota at quarterback.
I agree. Running back Rashad White. It's a name I haven't heard a lot about since the offseason started. And wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson, opposite to Rashad White, feel like I hear his name quite a bit.
So let me first talk about Rashad White. I think he's going to be the byproduct of all of the money getting spent on ETN and Kenneth Walker and, Breece Hall getting franchise tagged, that he's just going to be the forgotten about guy. And after everybody signed a running back, he's going to probably get a pretty modest deal that somebody can get a bargain on. Wan'Dale Robinson, I think he becomes a bargain because Alec Pierce is hitting the market, right? Because the Colts are not using the franchise tag on Alec Pierce and he's hitting the market. Pittman's hitting the market too, right?
Correct.
They've got both of those receivers they got to figure out. It pushes really good players like Wan'Dale Robinson just down the board a little bit to where now he's going to be valued.
He's going to be the third receiver.
Right.
Instead. Yeah. Tight end Isaiah Likely.
Good player, by the way. Wan'Dale Robinson is a good player. Good player.
Yeah. Isaiah Likely, another good player. Fact of the matter is he's always been kind of the second fiddle to Mark Andrews. And this year, you look at the tight end free agency market, Kyle Pitts, Dallas Goedert, another guy who falls down this list, Isaiah Likely.
It's not a position of need.
For the Cardinals, it's not at all.
But I think I'd take the dart throw. I mean, he's such an enticing player when he's healthy. Like when Mark Andrews got hurt and he was the premier tight end, he showed all of the potential, all of the flashes of being a tight end 1 in this league.
Yeah.
So you bring him in on a modest deal to be your tight end 2, and you have him in McBride. You basically kind of, we know the Rams, the Rams use multiple tight ends.
Yeah.
So it's not a pressing need, but it might be something to look into.
And to run 12 personnel.
Right.
Yeah, it just gives you a lot of options.
So not something that's front of mind for the Cardinals, I don't think, but it's kind of enticing. It's kind of intriguing.
Next 2, I think, are interesting for the Cardinals. Offensive tackle Braxton Jones from Chicago and interior offense Elijah Vera Tucker.
See,
guard center.
We're getting to this place where we're talking so much about Vera Tucker being a bargain
that he's no longer a bargain.
That he's not going to be a bargain, right? If everybody knows he's a bargain, then the bidding war will commence and he will no longer be a bargain. And now the injuries are a problem, but that's the thing I would worry about if you are interested in Elijah Vera Tucker, as I think the Cardinals should be. He's a fit for LaFleur's system. LaFleur was there when they drafted him. He's a Swiss Army knife. He can play all 5 positions along the offensive line. You got to find a way to keep him healthy, and that's a weird pairing to make, right? Cardinals, who had a bunch of injuries last year and trying to figure out why this stuff happens, adding injury-prone player. I get it. It's not a match made in heaven, but he's such a talented player. When healthy, he's a Pro Bowl.
Another guy that I think could be interesting for the Cardinals, just because this is a position of need, a position we've talked about, are Darius Washington from Baltimore, the safety. Could be another guy they're interested in.
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to be in the safety market. It's a question of, do they want to be big spenders there and go for the Cam Curls of the world, or are they going to look more? They're not going to be top market shoppers in every position that they are in.
No, and they'll pick and choose their spots.
Exactly. They will because they don't have a ton of cap space. They've got like $40 million, so they can't go crazy the way the Titans are expected to go.
In the grand scheme of the NFL, I get it. They have good position in the grand scheme of the NFL. Like, they're fine. But they don't have what the Raiders have, right? They don't have the 110.
They don't have the credit card that has the max limit on it.
Yeah.
They've got a limit, and they've got to be very careful with it and really deploy these dollars wisely. It's going to do it for us here today on the program. Jim Rome is coming up next. Reminder, ASU women's basketball today starting at 4 o'clock. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See you.